Welcome to The Explainer. I am so pumped to be here with you today, because honestly, we're diving into something absolutely spectacular. We're looking at Argentina's dramatic 2-0 victory over Austria. But hey, if you're just looking at the final score, you're completely missing the magic. Today, we're going to unpack the raw emotion, the frantic pacing, and the exact commentary from the live broadcast to see exactly how football history was written right before our eyes.
I mean, just feel the energy of those 5 words. The absolute second the whistle blows, the broadcast drops us right into the thick of it. Countdown done. Game on. It literally replicates that massive adrenaline rush that just washes over the entire stadium the moment the match kicks off. All that anxious waiting totally evaporates. You're instantly transported straight to the edge of your seat.
Section 1. The opening surge.
Okay, let's dive into this timeline. When you listen to the commentary, it's just this frantic, chaotic sequence of events setting up the whole match. Right at the first second, we get that first real surge. Bam! 5 seconds in, Enzo Fernandez puts in what the commentator calls a terrific challenge. The momentum builds so incredibly fast that by the 10th second, the ref is right there and Argentina is screaming for a penalty. And right in the middle of all this beautiful chaos, the setup happens. Lionel Messi gets the ball, Medina is flying up on the outside. Mapping this out, you can literally feel how suffocating Argentina's initial attack was. They didn't just walk onto the pitch, right? They absolutely stormed it.
Section 2. Goal 17. Historic milestone.
So, the crucial point is this number right here, 17. It's not just some random stat, it's practically a coronation. The commentator specifically calls this out, shouting, "Number 17 for the great number 10 Messi." You know how it is in the World Cup. Every single goal is an absolute battle. So hitting 17, that's the kind of milestone that makes you rewrite the record books.
Which leads us perfectly to the commentator's next point. They do not mince words here. They come right out and say, in terms of scoring in World Cup finals, you are looking at the greatest of all time. It's so fascinating because the broadcast doesn't even leave room for debate. Achieving this ultimate pinnacle in World Cup final scoring, that is the definition of the greatest of all time. It's a bold assertion of dominance, absolutely backed up by the sheer volume of goals we just talked about.
And honestly, how do you even react when you see history being made right in front of you? Well, exactly like this. Oh yes, there it is, there it is. You could just hear the pure, unfiltered joy and total disbelief in the commentator's voice. This is not your calm, detached, everyday reporting. This is a broadcaster completely losing their mind as that historic goal actually hits the back of the net. It's the ultimate emotional release valve after all that tremendous buildup we tracked earlier.
Section 3. Defying the Austrian defense.
Let's break down the sheer absurdity of this final play. Step 1, the Austrian keeper, Schlager, makes what the broadcast calls a great stop. Normally the danger is over, right? Nope. The transcript tells us Messi decides he's going to crown it all himself. Step 2, he's staring down massive obstacles. We're talking 4 or 5 Austrians in the way, according to the commentary. And step 3, despite this literal wall of defenders, Messi decides to go for a skimmer. He doesn't pass. He doesn't reset the play. He just takes on the entire defensive line all by himself to force that ball through.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how staggering those odds were. You have one Lionel Messi completely surrounded by 4 Austrian defenders. It perfectly highlights the overwhelming numerical disadvantage he was facing right there in the box. Any logical, rational assessment of that situation tells you the play is totally dead. The defense won, right?
Well, that is exactly what makes this next line from the transcript so incredibly powerful. Truth is stranger than fiction. We really need to pause and think about that for a second. The commentator uses that exact phrase because finding a way through that massive Austrian wall was characterized as a literal miracle. The guy found a way because, as the source puts it, he works miracles. Seriously, you couldn't even script a movie like this because nobody would believe it. But it actually happened.
Section 4. Through to the knockouts.
There's just this incredible poetic timing going on here. The commentator points out that this miracle skimmer shot was in fact the last kick of the game. And who delivered it? The man of the game, from the footballer on the planet. That comparison is just stunning. The very final moment of the entire match perfectly aligned with the defining action of its most pivotal player. It's this perfect closed loop of a narrative that brings an incredibly intense game to just a flawless conclusion.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Here are the concrete outcomes cemented for us. First up, a very decisive 2-0 victory for Argentina over Austria. Second, the massive tournament implication. They are officially through. Their round of 32 qualification is totally secured. And third, the undeniable, absolute fact that Messi works miracles yet again, permanently leaving his mark on the history books with goal number 17.
Which leaves us with this final, thrilling thought taken straight from the broadcast. The commentator says, just when you think he's done everything, he does more. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As Argentina advances, what miracle will he work next in the round of 32? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. I really hope this breakdown left you just as in awe and honestly just as hungry for the next match as I am.